Greetings, peace be with you. In this video, I want to share with you the hidden agenda. Okay, now before diving in, I just want to make sure that you don't believe anything that I say in this video. Okay, nothing that I say is going to be true. Do your own research and just find out what makes sense to you. Okay, but also understand that where you get your information and what information you put in your head ends up dictating what you see in the world as well, right? So what you put in is what you get out through your lens through which you view the world. So I'm not saying that you have to believe everything I say. Definitely don't. Do your own research, dive in, see what you resonate with, see what you don't resonate with. But at the end of the day, the truth is in your own heart, right? Anything that I say to you, it's all words, it's all air, it's all language, which is just symbols, right? At the end of the day, it comes back to what is true to you right now. And that's why it's so important to tune into the frequency of your own heart, to take time for yourself and spend time in silence to really get clear on what you truly resonate with rather than being dictated by factors outside of you, right? So the hidden agenda, let's just discuss the tools that actually lead up to it in the first place, right? So first and foremost, it's the mainstream media, okay? It runs off of sensationalism and it runs off of 99% of the stuff that you consume being negative, right? Now, this is something that I've seen as well because I'm here with my family right now and I see that the news is something that is constantly being watched, right? Oh shit, now this happened. Oh shit, now that happened. Now there's this new thing that's come out. Now there's this other thing that's come out. And what does it do? What is the ultimate objective, right? What is the goal of the mainstream media? Well, on one side of the spectrum, it's like, okay, they're a business, they want to make money. So they want to get your attention, right? Where you put the attention is then they get more advertising dollars. And what's the best way to get your attention? Right? The best way is, of course, to actually appeal to your negativity bias, right? This is something that we as human beings evolved with, right? We have the negativity bias, whereby if something is actually a threat to our survival, then we will pay more attention to it. And therefore, if it bleeds, it leads, right? If there's something that's catching the attention of the people, it's usually something that's negative, because something that has nothing to worry about, then it has no cause for concern. So it's like, okay, I don't need to pay attention to that. But if something is really threatening your survival, then it's like, okay, I really need to pay attention to this right now. Okay, so the first side of it is really the business side of it, right? Making the advertising dollars. And the second side of it is who runs the mainstream media, right? I was reading that something like a couple of corporations that really run the entire media, and they are the ones who are dictating the messages that are being sent out. And there are a lot of messages going around that are actually being banned from these mainstream media platforms, right? And there's a lot of stuff that people take at face value. They look at the numbers. They're like, okay, how can you explain this number right here? These many people are experiencing this right now. Those many people are experiencing that right now. In this country, this is happening. But how do you truly know that that's true? Oh, because it's coming on this huge news network. Oh, because it's on TV. It must be true. How can it not be true, right? So I think this is a time of awakening right now where people are really waking up to the reality that what they see at face value is not 100% true. Not even be 1% true, that there's an agenda behind it. And I'll be discussing that agenda coming up. But the first tool is really the information, right? Because what you get in, right, ends up being what you seeing the world with, right? Whatever information you feed, that's what you vibrate at. That's the information that you picked up. That's now a part of your framework. And that framework is being used to analyze the world. And then therefore you end up seeing exactly what you believe, right? So you end up finding evidence for whatever it is that you believe to be true, right? Now, secondly, it's like, okay, when you're vibrating at that frequency of fear, right? You look at this graph over here. This is the Hawkins scale of consciousness. And when you're in that vibration of fear, right, then it's like you are always looking out for threats in your environment. You're like, okay, I need to be on the lookout. And then you are more likely to be open to the solutions that are proposed for that threat as well, right? So it's like, okay, here's a threat right now. And okay, now you got to be careful of it. Okay, I'm going to be careful of it. And now the second thing is, okay, don't worry. I got the solution for you. So here you go, take the solution and you'll be all good. And if you don't take the solution, then you're not only putting yourself at threat, but you're putting your whole family at threat, you're putting your whole community at threat. And therefore, if you don't take the solution right now, then I'm not going to allow you to fly. I'm not going to allow you to go to the gym. I'm not going to allow you to go to any public places. And then it's like the other end of the spectrum where it's like, okay, now you have to take the solution. Otherwise, you're putting everyone a threat, right? So just the narrative that's being played out in the mainstream media. And I think that right now is a time where people are waking up to the reality that it's all fucking propaganda, right? What is propaganda? What is conspiracy? Propaganda is simply biased information that is being used to promote a particular point of view, right? So what is a point of view that's being promoted right now? I'll leave that for you to decide, right? But the end goal of it is to really get at the vibration of fear. When you're in the vibration of fear, then you are more likely to be influenced with the solution that is proposed, right? Now, secondly, it's like, I didn't think about this for a long time until I really realized that, not only information in your head, but food in itself is information as well, right? And your body and your mind, it's like, what's the difference between it? I actually know that there's like a bi-directional relationship. Your body can influence your mind can influence your body, and it's like going round and round. So they both influence each other. So not only what information you put in your mind, but food is literally the information that you feed to your body, right? In the yogic philosophy, they literally call this physical body your food body, because it's like your digestive system, which works the miracle of transforming that food into your physical body, right? And your body releases your hormones, right? And hormones are literally like the chemical messengers that dictate how you feel. So think about if you are consuming some animal, okay? Maybe you're a vegetarian, but let's give for an example that you're consuming an animal right now, right? You eat that animal and then you end up feeling some type of way, right? Now, what determines what type of way you feel is what that animal went through, because that animal literally becomes part of you, right? This is why in the indigenous cultures of Native America and stuff, they literally used to bless the animal and like consider it sacred, because that life is now nurturing your life right now, right? But these days we just have this farming going on. I was actually visiting one of these agricultural farms, and just the way that they're manipulating the genes of these animals and keeping them in closed compartments. And there's no doubt that animals experience emotion as well. They release hormones as well. So if you're eating an animal that has been trapped in a cage, right, that is not allowed to actually go outside, get the vitamin D, be in its natural environment, that is being fed an unnatural diet, that's causing stress on its body. That stress on its body is causing the people who are raising the animal to give it antibiotics, because it's getting sick from the stress. Then they're giving it antibiotics, and then after that they want to make it grow as fast as possible, so they're giving it hormones, right? So it's an unnatural process that's taking place. And then you go ahead and consume that animal. How do you think that animal will affect you, right? I mean, you can come up with your own conclusion, because the reality is that that animal then becomes a part of you. So if you're experiencing stress, if you're always stressed out, if you're fearful, look at what food you're putting inside your body. What information are you feeding to your body, right? Because for a long time it was like, I think the USDA dictating the nutritional guidelines of the people of the United States, right, at least. And it was like, at a certain point of time, there was a certain percentage of people that were overweight and obese. And after they started giving the recommendations for nutrition, now it's like, I think more than 40% of people in the US alone are overweight. I think that more than 70, 30, I don't know the numbers, but it's like a huge amount of people that are overweight and obese, right? A large portion of the population, which then leaves them susceptible to other illnesses, right? Because when your body's stressed out, then you are not at ease, you are at dis-ease. And what did dis-ease lead to, right? It leads you to experiencing a disease, which at the end of the day, then it's like, oh, you have this disease, don't worry about what caused it. Here is the solution to it again, right? So you see how this pattern plays out again and again and again. And when you are vibrating at that frequency of fear, that is when it leads to the ultimate hidden agenda, right? So what is the ultimate hidden agenda? Well, it is completely contrary to the ultimate reality, which is unity, right? So yoga, the word yoga literally means union. It means unity. Religion, the word religion comes from religare in Latin, which means bind, right? Coming together closely to see the reality, to see the unity in the illusion of duality, right? That's what every great spiritual teacher has told us. That's what every great spiritual tradition has told us, that right now duality is an illusion. This life is an illusion. The only reality is that of unity, right? We all came from the same place. We will all go to the same place. But when we get trapped at the level of fear, right? When we get trapped at the hidden agenda, then we get trapped at division. right? We see separation between us and someone else. We see separation between the nationality. We see separation between their creed. Okay, this is that type of person, that is this type of person, fuck that person, I'm gonna kill that person, he doesn't believe what I do. And it's crazy how many people have been killed in the name of these spiritual traditions which preach unity, and they're using that as actually to spread the division, right? Getting these things coming up, because this comes to mind because I was talking to my buddy the other day, and he was talking about how this whole situation that we're experiencing right now is because of that country, that here, because that country didn't do this. It's like, when you really get to the root of it, what are these countries, man? Like, it's just something that we drew on a map, we made it up, right? So the ultimate hidden agenda comes down to divide and conquer, right? What's the best way to control people? You divide them up, make them realize, make them believe that they're separate from each other, make them believe that there's division, cause conflict amongst it, and then conquer it all and control the whole situation going on, right? So the ultimate agenda is divide and conquer, is control, is manipulation, is really getting people divided and get them vibrating at the frequency of fear, because when you're at fear, then you are more easily controlled, you are more susceptible to being influenced for the solution as well, and you are being manipulated to that extent as well. Okay, so like, it's crazy how The Matrix, which is my favorite movie of all time, captures a similar metaphor, right? It's like AI has taken over, and what they're doing is cultivating these humans to actually feed them with their energy, right? At the end of the day, the only thing that you have is your energy, right? Where you put your energy is what you get out of life. So your attention is where you direct your energy, where you direct your focus, right? Your money, where you spend your energy, that your energy of your hard work, right? What's money? You store your hard work in there, you store your productivity there, and then you spend it on something. So just look at those patterns for yourself in terms of where you put your attention, where you put your time, where you put your focus, where you spend your money, right? And analyze whether the circumstances in your life are playing out the way that your higher self already knows is true, because your emotions will tell you, right? How do you feel every single day, like on a regular basis? What is your default setting, right? Because your default setting will dictate whether you are walking your authentic path and purpose in your life, right? You're walking your dharma, as they say in Hindu philosophy. Because if you're not, then the law of karma comes in and teaches us to actually get back on the path, right? So don't fall victim to the hidden agenda, okay? Understand that unity is the only reality. Everything else is subjective truth. There is no such thing as objective truth other than one, right? One is the truth, right? The truth is one, the paths are many, right? And the wise call it by many names, whatever you want to call that truth, source, creator, God, Krishna, whatever you want to call this truth. Personally, I like the source, right? Because it's the source of life, even according to the Big Bang Theory, which is the prevailing cosmological model of how the universe came to be. It started with one speck of energy. From that speck of energy, we all arose, and back to that speck of energy, we will all go. So understand that you are a figment of that consciousness, of that awareness, of that infinite unity, right? You're just one expression of that, and realizing that we are all that awareness, that pure loving awareness which is there, which is experiencing itself from these different experiences that we have right now. And once we can realize that, then we can realize our true identity as the unborn, undying aspect of the divine, and realize that we are all from that source. We can come together and really create a new world order of heaven on earth, right? So that is the reality that we're moving towards, because this whole situation that we're going through right now, even though the agenda was separate, it's like people are going through their own spiritual awakenings. They're having the time to go inwards and really get clear on what is true for them, what is important for them, and waking up to the reality that we are all more connected than we thought at first, right? Even though this whole ploy, this whole agenda was meant to bring division, it's actually bringing people together, and it's a beautiful thing to see unfold right now, okay? So hope you're staying strong. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to do so. Leave a comment below letting me know what's up with you. Hope that you're staying strong. But with that, I conclude this video, and I'll see you in the next one.